This is a little bit different because this is a CGI model that you can change. You can't change that face. What's up, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. If you're seeing this, then you're watching this on the premiere, which unfortunately I'm not live because I do have a tape in with TMZ today, so that's the only reason why you're not getting this live. But the big question today, like, was I wrong about Ellie from The Last of Us? Is it a bad casting? I got to do a reaction video to my man Deleted Villain. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deleted Villain. I'm going to go into this video because he's saying, what the hell is this? And I got to investigate to see, am I wrong on this? You know what I mean? So what we're going to do, we're going to get into the video. Let's go. Let me see if the villain has a point or, can I counter his point? Let's go into it. And let's see what's happening.
HBO, what the hell is this? Bruh. What the hell is this? What is this? We didn't ask for this. We wanted this. This is what we wanted. We didn't want this. What are we doing here? You guys did so well with Penguin. Penguin was it was so good. Penguin was the casting was.
And don't forget to go subscribe to my man Deleted. I've shared some of his videos before. I've actually did a reaction video to his Black Panther review, or what he thought about recast T'Challa, Black Panther, all of that. So this is not nothing familiar, but make sure you like, share, subscribe to the brother's channel. Let's keep getting into it.
It was great. What is this? Why?
None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lie. They don't want to give me credit for anything.
Yo, before he goes any further, now Ellie, and I forgot the young lady who play, who actually plays the character. I believe, to me, that she does an excellent job as far as the acting. But let's keep it real. She's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Let's just because of my comments alone for my reaction or my recap from season 1 when we did it on the Blurred AF, she's just not cute.
I just watched episode 1 of Last of Us season 2, and now I gotta say it out loud. HBO and Hollywood fumbled this bag like it was the last round on Fortnite, and their controller died mid-fight, getting lit up. How do you take one of the most emotionally gut-wrenching, high-stakes video game, one of the most in-depth stories of all time, and water it down with casting choices that feel like a social experiment instead of a real-life adaptation? At this point, I'm convinced these execs don't actually play these video games. They just skim through the plot summaries and cast whoever was in a prestige drama 5 years ago. There's no way anyone who sat through part 2 on a PlayStation thought, yeah, Bella Ramsey is the perfect choice to carry this dark, violent, emotionally complex arc.
Now, let me just say this. Because I know that Deleted Villain is a gamer, I can understand where he's coming from. Is, when you're looking at the character just side by side to the original character, I can, from the character from the game compared to the actress that's playing her, I can understand those two do not fit at all. Nowhere, shape, form. I'm not even gonna act like it. But this is where I come from an acting standpoint. From an acting standpoint, you have to allow, this is just my personal opinion, you have to allow the actor or actress to become the character of their own. I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. I know damn well that none of the Turtles from the 1990 movie, the 1991 movie, the 93 movie, the remake of TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay, which those are horrendous, you know what I mean, versions of the Turtles, none of them look like the original Mirage comics, you know what I mean? But you have to allow them to grow into, to give you get that emotion from you. But if you're going in automatically like they didn't recast her because she was 14 in the last series, and then they went and doubled down and brought her back. If you already got that in your mind, you're already mentally you already done. Once you make it up in your mind that this is who you pick for season 2, you didn't even want to recast and age her up to somebody who looks at least aesthetically pleasing, or at least look like somebody that's from the video game. It's already over. You're already going to be done with this character. Let me keep going because I don't want to take that much time.
Not one real gamer would say that with a straight face. Nobody's going to say that. And it's not even about acting chops. It's about presence, believability, growth, character design. I'm just saying, man. The moment that first scene aired and Ellie pulled up looking like she was a hall monitor trying to fight a grown man, I knew we were in trouble. It just didn't look right. I was like, come on, man. You want me to believe this little ass girl's taking down this big ass man? Like, at this point.
I do want to, look, Villain, you my guy, but you missed the point. In that scene, he actually said that he was pulling the punches. If he was pulling the punches, he was allowing her to get her little rage out. She thought she was really doing something. It's literally in the scene, though. You know what I mean? Because it was like, if she got mad, she was like, don't pull your punches no more. You know what I mean? Now, I would just keep it real. If you know who Master Wong is, you know, there's some girls out here that's little as hell. They can get, matter of fact, if you're from the hood, there's a chick out there that's little than a mug that will give you problems. So I'm not saying that she's that, but there's context to that particular scene. Let's keep going.
Bella Ramsey as Ellie is framed as one of the worst casting choices in recent memory, especially for the video game franchise. I mean, it seems like they never do right. I feel like they legit try to drop the ball every time when it comes to a video game remake. I mean, this year Disney recently fell flat-faced with this shit. I don't know what they...
I mean, me personally, I'm not going to go see that. None of my daughters wanted to go see that, so I didn't care nothing about that. I honestly don't care what a lot of stuff that Disney does right now, so that's just me. Recast T'Challa.
They was thinking they got backlash after backlash, but you know, that's a whole nother topic. When it comes to The Last of Us season 2, the main problem is Bella still looks 14. Let's be real, Ellie went from 14 to 19 in the game. It looked like she'd been through hell. She turned into a straight up ice box with zero emotions left in the tank. But in the show, Bella still looks like she's sneaking out past curfew, throwing hissy fits like she was told she couldn't use the car. You can't time skip 5 years and show up looking like you just finished middle school detention.
Hey, to be fair, that's a grown woman. Let's be fair. You know what I mean? And hey, honestly, I think it's a compliment because some folks don't age well, if you get what I'm saying. You know, just saying. But I can see his point. But I also, because there's context to the complexity of that character in the show. In the show, she's being a dick because she knows that she's immune. So she's just doing shit. She's showing out. She thinks just because you're of age now, you're 19, nobody can protect you. Nobody can tell you nothing. And it's a theme throughout episode 1 in there for context. So that's why she's throwing a hissy fit. She's doing, hell, have a grown kid. And sometimes they'll do stuff like that. Trust me. As a parent, you know what I mean? Trust me.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't. It's not believable. This matters because The Last of Us Part 2 isn't just about revenge. It's about transformation. Ellie's evolution into a cold-blooded, war-hardened badass is what drives the entire plot. I'm not trying to spoil anything. We're not going to go into the spoilers. Because if she's still looking like she's asking Joel for juice boxes, how are we supposed to believe she's going to murk entire fractions by herself? You can't slap a scar on someone's eyebrow and call it character development.
I'm just going to be honest, man. She's just funny looking. That's what it really is. She's just funny looking. If I'm gonna keep it a bean, she's just funny looking. She doesn't give the character from again, her acting chops to me is top tier. I'm not gonna take anything away from her. She's just a funny looking girl, man. I'll just be honest, funny looking woman. Kind of got a long face and she like somebody drew her face off. That's not right. That's mean. But she's just funny looking. That's what I think if she was aesthetically pleasing, nobody is saying anything about this show. Because then, I mean, which would it be kind of weird? I'm not saying that he's doing this, but a lot of these gamers that was complaining that I talked about with the comic book news, you know, a lot of it seemed just weird though, because I don't want to picture. First of all, I'm not about to sit up here like, yeah, there's no hot girls in games. What are you going playing video games looking for hot girls for, you weirdo? Like, I get it. They're gonna make character models because they gotta sell a product. All of this is selling a product, you know. But to me, as far as being a former actor and stuff like that, to me, you know, movies and television is all about emotion. What emotion are they getting out of you? And I get it. When you kind of don't look like the character, it takes you away, especially if you're a fan of that franchise like that. It's going to take you away. You know what I mean? At the same time, I also, like I said, Turtles, my favorite movie of all times. They do not look like the original Mirage 1984 comics. But at the same time, I allowed this version, or that 86 cartoon, but I allowed that version of TMNT to flourish, and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it, because we're coming from an actor's point of view, not a gamer's point of view, but I got to listen more what he's saying, because I want to hear from a gamer's point of view.
HBO tried to age her up with dim lighting and a flannel shirt. That ain't aging, HBO. That is not aging, HBO. It's not. Y'all just gave Bella a flannel shirt and you prayed for puberty. It didn't work. If your casting makes the whole revenge arc feel like a school play with trauma, that's not a glow up. If she still looks 14, the story just doesn't work. End of discussion. And besides all that, she doesn't even look like Ellie. She don't look like Ellie from the game at all. And I'm not asking for a clone. But damn, I wasn't expecting a whole different character either. She's not giving Ellie, bro. She's not.
Because she's not. She's not. The lady who's playing Abby looks more like Ellie than Bella Ramsey does. Just be honest. But let's play devil's advocate. What if they went for the best actor, the person who can be able to give the most emotion, who played? Because remember, you still have to play off the other cast members. Who could they get that could play off Pedro Pascal well? That's the way that I look at it. When you're going into these casting, when you're going through readings, they'll match you with a bunch of people. And if it's not a fit with the read, especially if you got somebody in the level of Pedro Pascal, if the read doesn't fit, they're going to go with the person that fits with the actual other actor. Especially if this is, you know, like with this is kind of like almost like a father and, you know, father-daughter adventure, something like that. You got to have somebody that's going to play off of that character well and that actor well. And if that actor doesn't play well with them, they don't get cast. And then you get that. So just, I don't know.
Even in season 1, fans were squinting, trying to see Ellie as Bella. And not because of low brightness on HBO Max either. Not only didn't she look like in-game Ellie, she also didn't resemble the OG face model Elliot Page. Ellie from the game was literally designed and modeled after actress Elliot Page. So I don't get why they couldn't cast someone who actually looked more like her. And this ain't about looks. I have to stretch this because people are trying to make it.
Let villain. This your homie Dre Mac talking to you, big dog. She's not cute. She's not nowhere close to it. Nowhere close to it. A lot of the times that's what you hear. She is fried, is what I hear. Again, I only played The Last of Us 2.5. Wasn't really big into the game like that, so I'm not even gonna sit up here and cap like I am or something like that, or that I played it. So I get it. I do get it. You know what I mean? Because she does not look like the character whatsoever. No close. She's fried. I'm sorry. She's not cute. She's not cute. But when people try to dismiss it, to say, I'm not saying you are, but some people are dismissing it, trying not to hurt nobody's feelings. It is. Some, especially, there's more majority of men that's playing this game than women. They're looking at her and like, ugh. You know what I mean? Ugh. I'm just keeping it a buck.
this into a situation that it's not. It's not about looks in a shallow way. It's about believability. If you're adapting one of the most
I
iconic
agree.
characters in
I
gaming
agree.
history and your lead looks like they're cosplaying from a different franchise entirely, the immersion's already cooked. It's out of here. We don't want it. You could be a great actor and still be the wrong fit visually. That's not hate. That's just casting math. Scars, makeup, clothes is just not enough. It's not enough to save Bella. It's not. HBO thought we was dumb. They really try to add a scar and call it character development. They try to age Bella up with a little smudge of dirt, a little Party City scar. Like we would have noticed she still looks 14 and fresh out of choir practice, fresh out
Not
of volleyball camp. They
not
thought growing her
volleyball
hair
camp,
out would do it. Guess what? It didn't. It didn't, HBO. It's the fact that Ellie in part 2 is supposed to radiate rage, trauma, and vengeance. No matter how many fake bruises you add, it doesn't sell the hardened mass unaliver energy.
Hey, I'm gonna
the
be
story
honest with
needs
you
to
though.
land.
I'm also keep it a buck. The character model that they use doesn't look like should be in real life, but again, anybody can be. But she doesn't look like somebody who, would do all of that type of stuff either. So I guess it's a catch-22. With me, this is just my personal opinion. That girl look like she'll get shit kicked out of her. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep it a buck. But also at the same time, you know what I mean? She could be that badass. You know what I mean? It's sometimes I just don't buy when they do characters like that. I just don't buy it. I honestly could see Bella Reed snapping off old people more than I can a woman that looks like that. That's just my personal opinion. But let me keep going because I don't want to hold this too long.
Man, because if you played the video game, you know what happens with Ellie. You know what she does. She becomes a mass unaliver. And Bella Ramsey doesn't give that. Now, Joel's casting was honestly good. Pedro's out here delivering Emmy-level dad trauma, while Bella's giving awkward school play understudy. It's like pairing a gourmet chef with a lunchable. Individually, they're fine.
I personally just don't agree with the acting part. I believe acting-wise, she's doing a hell of a job. From what her role is right now, especially episode 1, and the way that they're setting up her character in this particular, because they're doing again, they're doing a lot of it. There's the video game aspect, and then there's not stuff that you see in the video game because it's a video game. You can't cram all of that stuff in there. So the personal character arc that she thinks because she has a cure or she is a cure. Me personally, she would have been in pill form. If I was y'all, would have left her ass with the fireflies. She would have been in pill form, and I would have been getting the cure by next summer, personally. But that's not to be said. But to me, acting, just pure acting wise, I believe she's giving it. That's just me. I believe she's giving it, especially when you look at some video games cutscenes and stuff like that. That's not good acting. A lot of that stuff is not good acting. It's okay, you know what I mean? But it's not the level of when you're trying to sell a product, personally, for me. But anyway, let's keep going.
But together just feels awkward and it doesn't mesh. And it's
But
the
I think
fact
he's
that
doing
better
good with Pedro
options were
Pascal.
out there, bruh. There were better options who actually went for the role and were denied. The fact that they had better options makes this 10 times worse. Kaylee Spaney, Caitlin Dever, Sophia Lillis. HBO looked at a perfect casting buffet and said, nah, let's eat drywall. We not doing it.
But again, the only reason why I have a stance against that, because you could have someone who perfectly embodies the character but doesn't have the charisma and the energy to play off an actor of Pedro Pascal's level. You know what I mean? It's a fit. It's a orchestrated fit. Like I said, for me being an actor, there's some people that just can't. They don't mesh well. The type of actor that I am, they just don't mesh well with me. You know what I mean? And I could be bringing it, and this person just not giving that energy, and that could have been it. They could have been, like I said, in the reading, she's doing her thing, he's doing his thing. Both of them are from Game of Thrones. I understand that. So you kind of, from HBO's level, they kind of already know what they got as far as acting, but how well did they play off of each other? And to me, I think they played, especially season 1, I think they did an excellent job. And I really wasn't hearing anybody talking about this is season 1 as bad as it is now. So that's just me personally. Let's keep going.
We don't care. We want to be difficult. We want to do something different. There ain't no way we're supposed to believe Bella's out here murking full-grown men when she still looks like she has a curfew. Why pass on characters more believable and suitable for the role? What was the point? Sometimes I feel like they do this shit on purpose to stir up controversy, to be talked about and shit. It's just like Sonic's botched ass face. Remember that? Remember when everybody got mad at Sonic? They're like, "Why?"
I'm sorry. If we're looking at facial wise, she's. Let me shut up, because that's not nice.
Why the hell does he look crazy? Remember, he had like
he
human
did.
ass
He
teeth
looked
and
wild.
shit, and everybody.
And then they made fun of it in the Alvin and Chipmunk movie. Did the ugly Sonic? You know what I mean? Because they knew that's not Sonic. But this is a little bit different because this is a CGI model that you can change. You can't change that face.
He was livid. They were hot. So then they were forced to redesign the character. Yeah, this is HBO's version. That's the best example. You could have the best script in the world, but if the main character looks like a knockoff, nobody's buying in. It's just frustrating, man. It's frustrating when these studios shit on masterpieces because they want to experiment. Then just don't remake it. Don't remake it. Leave the classics alone.
The only thing about it is I don't think this was an experiment. That part I don't buy. Again, I truly believe that this was just the best actor that played off of Pedro Pascal. That's what I honestly believe. I didn't think they went in to look at, and this was 3 where they filmed season 1. The filming was about 4 years ago, I believe, because I think he was in the middle of doing The Mandalorian season 2 at the same time doing The Last of Us. So I personally don't, when they went into this, it wasn't like, oh, let's get her because we want to piss off fans. I just don't believe that. They knew what they had as far as an actress, and they just went with the actress that they felt, could compel the story for that, that they're telling. Just personally, I don't think it's all conspiracy and they just wanted to piss people off. Or I don't believe that. I can see where it can look that way, but in this particular case, I don't believe so. Let's keep going.
Good with the games, and they had more than enough time to do a recast, and they missed that chance. They missed that opportunity. They could have hit the reset button for part 2, and they fumbled it like a wet football. Instead of leveling up with a new actress who actually resembles 19-year-old Ellie, they doubled down on it. Even with all the backlash from season 1, it's like they did it on purpose. They didn't give a fuck. And it's the fact that HBO already proved they know how to do this right, because they did it with House of Dragon. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce some of these names, so I might butcher your name, and I apologize, but Millie Alcock played young Rhaenyra Targaryen, and she absolutely crushed it. She did her thing. Yep. Fans loved it.
I agree.
But when it was time to age her up, HBO didn't slap a scar on her face and pray for the best. They brought in Emma Darcy, who matched the maturity of the role demanded. And guess
Well, this is my only pushback. My only pushback is because of the age of the children that she was having, that she had in the show. It would have been weird, super weird, to have the young actress have these, middle school, damn near high school as, teenagers. So you needed a older actress to when you're starting to age up the children. It just would have been weird, even though both of them did their thing. It's the simple fact is that she was becoming a mother. You know what I mean? And as she was becoming a mother, those children throughout that time period of House of the Dragon was going to continue to get older. So it made more sense to have an older actress in that. Even though both of them was cool, but if they would have had the original actress player, didn't age her up or anything, or I'm sorry, kept the actress, but quote unquote age, it would have been too weird because of the role that Rhaenyra needed to be going forward and the age of the children. It would have, you know what I mean? It would have been weird. So that's just my 2 cents.
Guess what? It worked seamlessly. It worked. Even though this time around, I felt the younger actress actually embodied the character a little better and should have been the one to grow up and grow into the role over time. Kind of like how they did with Arya Stark. The newly actress eventually did grow on me, and she ended up being a great choice in the end. So honestly, it actually made sense. So my question is, why didn't they do the same thing for Ellie? Why didn't they give Ellie the same treatment?
This is the reason why is because she's becoming 19, and for them, like, you know, what they're looking at is that there's no difference from her being that I get it. She just looks young, even though she's a grown ass woman. She's like what, 20, 21 years old. She's still a grown ass woman. So technically, she's 2 years down, but she's playing at an age appropriate age, and she can't help that, development wise. There's nothing you could, it's you can't get mad about, that she didn't develop, like, or to look, you know what I'm saying, 19. She looks like a 19-year-old to me, just got a big long ass bean head. Just that's not nice.
They had plenty of solid options for a grown-up Ellie. Again, Kaylee Spaney, Kaylin Devers, Sophia
But
Lillis,
she's the same
actresses
age
who
as
could
the
have
character, though.
believably captured Ellie's evolution from scrappy teen to ruthless survivor. But instead, HBO played it safe, doubled down, and now we're all expected to pretend Bella Ramsey aged 5 years off of a single eyebrow scar. Be serious. It's dumb. And I'm not discrediting Bella Ramsey at all as an actress. She is talented, but just wrong for the role. And casting sometimes isn't about talent, it's about fit. And she honestly just doesn't fit that part.
It's about, nah, buddy. It's about, I did totally disagree with you on this one. It's about talent. Because the better talent that you have around, the better the show is going to be. Whether you agree with the way that this character looks, it's still about, the energy. I give you a prime example of this. Like I said, I'm a big Turtles fan, right? So TMNT 1990 had Judith Hogue play April O'Neil. And then she got recast because Judith Hogue didn't, was very vocal about the working conditions and everything of the actors in the rubber suits, the stuntmen, all of that. She was just very loud and vocal, said this was too violent, all of this. They got rid of Judith Hogue and they brought in, I can't think of her name off tops, for Turtle Soup, Secret of the Ooze, right? Just using this as an example. Judith Hogue was the fit, right? She was a talent. She didn't look like April O'Neil from the cartoon. She wasn't going to allow herself to do that. You know what I mean? But when you talking about the charisma and everything that fits with the talent that goes along to be April O'Neil and be her version of April O'Neil, she was perfect. Now, again, Paige Turco. Now, Paige Turco takes over for Secret of the Ooze. She's not a good April O'Neil. She's cute, aesthetically pleasing, none of the charisma of Judith Hogue. And that doesn't take anything away from Paige Turco. It's just she doesn't give April O'Neil. You know what I mean? Just, she doesn't. So sometimes it's talent, the charisma, everything that makes it fit. You know what I'm saying? More than does this person look like the character? Personally, for me. Let's keep going.
At that point, it felt like HBO was giving off Nepo vibes. People are now side-eyeing the casting like it's a Game of Thrones alumni club. Was Bella cast because she was right for Ellie, or just because she's already in HBO's contact list? Both of the lead roles came straight out of the Game of Thrones franchise. And
I believe it's both sides, because you already know when you have the talent. I mean, hell, Disney does it all the time. Big studios do this a lot, because you already know, instead of bringing somebody in from the outside that you might have to pay more for, you don't know their working style or something like that, then, especially if you're looking at, I seen her in this, I think she'll be perfect for this role. That's the way the talent scouts is going to look at it. So yes, they will pull in-house. A lot of people didn't like the fact that Pedro Pascal was playing Joe, like a Texas white dude, and he's Chilean. They don't like him for Reed Richards. And there is comic books where there's guys that the way that they draw it looks just like Pedro Pascal. Then there's people that don't look like Pedro Pascal. Just pick your comic and you might find a pick or two. But how would he perform on screen? And does he give the charisma and the vision of what they want this show or movie to be? And does they give it? That's just personally for me. Again, let's keep going.
At this point, it low key feels like HBO just wanted to keep the casting in house instead of
It could
going
have been.
for who actually fit the roles best. It feels like Hollywood is
It could have
trying to
been.
reshape beauty standards. And honestly, I'm all for that. I agree that beauty comes in many forms. Casting shouldn't always revolve around the same Eurocentric mold we've seen for decades. I love the
I
idea of
agree.
giving people who don't fit the traditional mold a chance to shine. But
I
here's the
agree.
thing, when you're remaking something that already has a set visual blueprint, like a video game or a classic movie, that's not the time to start experimenting. That's where accuracy
I
matters. The moment you
I
ignore what
agree.
the character is
Hold up.
supposed to
One more.
look
This is my
like,
last time. I agree and I disagree because you're still trying to find the best fit as far as actress or actor. You're trying to find someone who fits the energy of the character, even though they don't look like the character. So if they have the energy and they bring in a level of, because some people may not be able to bring the level of complexity to Ellie that they probably was looking for. You know what I mean? Even if they recast her, you know what I mean? If they would have recast and got somebody older, it would have been weird because she's the same age, or she's just 2 years removed from where the character is in the video game. So to me, it wouldn't have made any sense. To me, that would have been, you're trying to go, you're trying to go to third when the easy out was on second. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. But let me keep going. This is almost over.
especially when their visual identity is so tied into the story, you risk ruining the whole vibe. One miscast can break immersion, mess up the emotional impact, and turn an iconic character into something completely unrecognizable. Representation is important, but so is staying true to the source. And look, I try to brush it off, man. I did. I try to brush it off thinking the first episode might change my mind,
Hey,
but it didn't. It was
oh,
honestly
hey,
hard
if you see this villain, did you watch season 1, and what did you think about season 1?
to watch. Bella doesn't capture Ellie at all. It's like watching a kid play dress up for Halloween, which is insane because Bella Ramsey is in her 20s. It's not like she's an actual child. She's in her
Grown.
20s. She's a grown woman.
She about
But
to be
she
22.
just don't give grown women. She looked like a child. I'ma keep it lit. This was just flat out horrible casting. It was awful.
All right. So that is the man, the myth, villain. Me personally, again, like I said, I look at it completely differently. I believe that the energy that she brings to the character and everything um is perfect. And I honestly, but this is my personal opinion. I just think people think she's ugly and she doesn't look like the character. That's what I believe. They just don't want to say it out loud. I'm just saying it out loud. That's what I believe. Again, I only played The Last of Us 2.5. And you know what I mean? And I didn't even get through the whole entire game. You know what I mean? Those are not really my genre of games like that. But but I'm not disagreeing or trying to say what he's saying is wrong, because I completely get it. Especially that he's a gamer that has played that game. You do want the character to at least give me something of the character. We don't want Super Mario Brothers from the 90s. We want the Super Mario Brothers for which you just put out from Illumination. So I completely get it. But what do you guys think about this? Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. But again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.